Hey guys, welcome back to Can Outdoors. You'll have to forgive the mess. I'm inside of an old barn. It's the only place I could find out of the wind because it's in the teens and it's quite windy outside today, so it's cold. But today I'm going to be sighting in my wife's new air rifle. I'm going to get closer here. It's a Benjamin Regal. The NP stands for nitro piston because that's what it has in it instead of the traditional spring. It's brake barrel, it's 22 caliber. It's identical to mine except hers has a wooden stock. Mine is actually a Crosman Crusher 22 with the nitro piston, and they are identical except hers has a wooden stock, mine has synthetic. But they're both 22 caliber, they both have the same action, the same barrel, everything. They even have the same scopes. I put the same scope on both of them. Today we're going to sight it in. I've got another camera down there at the target. It's exactly 20 yards. I used my laser rangefinder. 20 yards from this sawhorse, which is it's going to be my rest today. And it's kind of wobbly and not very great, but it's the only thing I got on hand, so we're going to use it and hope for the best. We are shooting. Now, I have all kinds of good pellets, but I'm going to be using these today because I have a couple thousand of them. They're the Premier Hollow Point 22 caliber, 14.3 grains. They're decent for hunting. They're also decent just for plinking, whatever, target shooting, because they're, I think, like $8 or $9, which is kind of high right now, but you get 500 of them. And when you open it up, you're going to notice that you have almost no deformities. They're pretty consistent. And we're going to be shooting them using this. This is a Air Venturi Mark II, and it's a 22 caliber pellet pen. Basically, it's like a magazine that holds all your pellets, and because these are single shot, when you break it open, you stick this on the breech, push this down, and it puts the pellet in there for you, so you're not turning it in your hands and sticking it in. So these are pretty handy. They're like $10 at Walmart. I'm going to go ahead and take the caps off of the scope's elevation and windage adjusters. That way they're ready to go and I can just adjust them on the fly. Just like that. That's how quick and easy it is to use the pellet pen as opposed to sticking them in with your fingers. Now this scope was just put on the other day. Has not been sighted in. You can't bore sight it unless you have a laser, which I don't. So we're going to hope for the best on this first shot here. I don't even see where it hit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up there close to it, see which direction I'm off, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I walked down there and I could see where I hit. I hit right at the outer edge of the target itself at the top, like directly above the bullseye. So I know I need to come down, so I'm going to start making adjustments. And at 20 yards, it's going to be a lot of adjustment because it's about 4 inches, maybe 3.5 inches. So what we're going to do is take a coin, like a dime or a penny. Nickels don't usually fit. But on the top, you're going to see you have this little dial here. And a coin will fit into that little notch, kind of like a screwdriver notch. It'll fit into that. And you can use a flathead screwdriver if you have one, but a coin works great. So you'll see that it has an arrow pointing counterclockwise, and it says up. So if you turn it counterclockwise, it will raise your point of impact up. We want to bring it down, so we're going to turn it clockwise, which is the opposite of that. So you'll notice on here it also says 1 click, 1/4 inch at 100 yards. Now, we're shooting at 20, but say you're shooting at 25. That's 1/4 of the distance. So you have to multiply by 4. 16 clicks per inch. 32 clicks is 2 inches, so 48 clicks will be 3 inches. I'm not going to do all of that adjustment at once. I'm going to do roughly half of that. We're just going to go with like 28 to 30 clicks, and we're going to see what that changes for our point of impact. Because if you go all of it, you might overcorrect or you might mess up your scope. So it's best to go with like a half of an adjustment each time. So if you know you got to go 20, go 10. See what that does. If you need the other 10, then you go the other 10. It's also best to adjust only your windage or elevation at a time. Bring your point of impact down, then bring it over in whichever direction you need. Or some people start with windage first, bring it over whichever direction, and then bring it up or down whichever direction. But don't do 10 clicks here and 10 clicks here. You don't want to do that. You're going to mess everything up. It's going to take you all day. You're going to waste a ton of ammo. Now I noticed I only came down like an inch, maybe an inch and a half. So we're going to make another 20 click adjustment. Okay, so that's another 20 clicks. Load another pellet in. Sorry if my voice is a little cracky. It's cold out here. That didn't bring it down much. Let's go some more. That was my fault. I pulled it to the right. But we are, as far as elevation, right next to the bullseye. So when I'm going to make another adjustment, we're going to make another shot. Okay, so we are just slightly to the right of the bullseye. I think our elevation is just as perfect as it can be. We're going to make an adjustment to bring it left about a half an inch, just to see what happens at that point. Then we're going to make several shots and see if we can get a decent group. So, in order to bring it the point of impact left, if you notice on here, to turn it clockwise is left. There's an arrow pointing clockwise with an L. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring it left. So we're going to start with 10 clicks to the left because we're only at 20 yards. Like we moved up just a hair. I'm going to make another 5 clicks to the left. That's the shot we're looking for. Right there in the bullseye. Okay, I got so many holes in that one, I'm going to go set up a new target, see what kind of groups we can get, and then we'll move on to the steel targets. Not bad. Move to steel targets, and we're going to shoot that little one in the middle because it's starting to get pretty dark out here. Bullseye. bullseye. I'm hitting it every time though. No problem. No problem hitting it. So, my wife's air rifle is sighted in, more than sufficient for squirrel hunting. I hope you guys can see me alright. It's getting pretty dark in here. Well, that's going to be it for today. I hope this video was somewhat entertaining and possibly even helped somebody figure out how to adjust their scope to sight it in. You can see where my point of impact is on the other camera, so you can see what the adjustments did. So stay tuned for the next one. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications with the little bell icon there. And we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.